Hey everybody, I'm Zee Garcia. Today I'm taking a look at a light dice game, roll and write style game called Knister, I think, also known as Dice Bingo. When I first heard the alternate name of this Dice Bingo, I was certainly concerned. I thought, okay, wasn't Bingo lucky enough already? Now I gotta roll for the spots also? But it's not really quite what it turns out to be because they just sort of switched the point of luck, right? In Bingo, the number comes up randomly, but it's already written on your board. In this one, you pick where that number goes. And so you can manipulate what ends up happening and what score you are going to get. Yes, there's obviously luck in there because you're rolling dice, but it's I don't know if bingo is necessarily a misnomer here. So let's take a look at how this works. As I said, it's a roll and write game. Everybody's playing together. Very simple concept. Let me show you. Come on back after that, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So here's everything that comes with the game. You are going to get a pad of sheets here, 2 very pretty dice, and then everyone's going to need something to write with. You are going to give every player one of these sheets, and you give the 2 dice to any one player. You are ready to begin. So the idea here is that over 25 rolls of these dice, we are going to fill in this 5x5 grid. And what you're attempting to do is make rows and columns that are scoring rows and columns, as well as the diagonals, actually. You'll score those as well. And then the scoring is right here on the side, and you'll get victory points for pairs, triplets, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, as well as 2 pairs, a full house, which is 3 of one kind, 2 of another, a straight, if it includes a 7, you'll get 8 victory points, and if it's a straight that does not include 7, right at the middle of that bell curve, then that's harder to do. You'll get 12 points for that. And it reminds you right here about the diagonal scoring, double what they would be. You are supposed to pass the dice around to the next player who rolls them and calls out the number, but you can have a single player do this. It doesn't really matter. And so I would roll both dice. I would say 4, and everyone would put a 4 somewhere simultaneously. And then we roll again. That is a 6, and so I might put my 6 right here. And then do it again. This is 10, and then I'll put my 10 right there. Do it again. This time I got a 9. I'm going to try for, maybe I could get a straight out of this, so I'll put a 9 right there. That's also in my diagonal there. Okay, that's another 9. So now I'll put that one, put that one up here. And these are the kinds of things that you have to decide how you want to manage, all right? And so you just continue doing this. It's 25 rolls, no matter what. It's always 25 rolls. Where do I want that 7? See, it starts to get tricky because it affects a row and a column. So I'll put that 7 right there. And then eventually you are done. So I'm going to go ahead and jump forward, fill this in, and score it for you so you see how it works. And there you have it. I am done. So now I would score, and technically they say you should probably score as soon as you fill in a row or a column, but you can, just do it at the end as well. So I'm going to see if I can do this effectively upside down here. So I got 3 7s in this one, 3 of a kind. That is 3 victory points. Over here, I've got 3 of a kind with the 4s. That's another 3 victory points. Right here, I've got 4 of a kind. That gets me 6 victory points. Right here, I have, 2 9s there. That's the best I've got. Fine, that's just a point. And then right here, I've got the straight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight, including a 7, 8 victory points. Then the diagonal, and this is, I got extremely lucky there. That is 5 of a kind, which is 10, but I double the diagonal, so that is 20 victory points. And I might as well go ahead and score this diagonal now as well. 6, no, that didn't work out, so that's nothing. I don't even have a pair in there, all right? And then I do the same thing for the rest of these, add up the whole victory point, the total amount of the victory points. I write that down here, and whoever's got the highest score is the winner of the game. All right, let's take a look at my target audience system here, kicking it off with thematic ties. Aesthetics. The aesthetics of the game, I think, are pretty good. Actually, I like the way that the dice look. The dice in this are really nice. I mean, they have a nice marbled look to them. They did not need to be that nice. It's just 2 dice, but they look good. And then the sheets that are color printed and they're functional. They look good. They got the scoring right on there. Not a whole lot to mess up here, you know. So they did that well. The replayability, it's okay. You know, it's not high. That's for sure. I mean, it's a game in which you are going to be. It's sort of a big game of chicken in some ways. You are rolling dice, and then you write that number in somewhere, and you keep waiting and waiting and waiting and saving your good spots, but very quickly you start running into trouble. I think it's higher than some other games of this style, right? You roll a single grouping of dice, or 1 die, or whatever, and then you write something on your own sheet. Everybody else writes something on their own sheet. Next. Repeat until filled. For that style of game, yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good replayability from that point of view. Is it a game that's really replayable, though? No. Game length is great. 25 rolls, you know you're done. So I like that very much. Ease of play here. Very high ease of play. All you need, the only thing that could possibly throw you off in this game is if you don't know what a full house is, or if you don't know what a straight is. I think most people would know that one at least. And then you score. That's it. That's the difficulty, you know. So very easy game to play, very easy to get into. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and luck and things like that. Certainly a lot of luck, of course. You are rolling dice in it. But where you put those numbers that come up and other players put their numbers that come up is going to be different. How long do you wait? How tricky are you with your placement, you know, and all of that. And yes, at the end of the day, you could be as clever as it gets and still not get a good score because the number didn't come up, right? So lots of luck there. But it is a fun, big game of chicken. Like I said, that's kind of what you're playing. You know, something great comes up, you go, ooh, I've been waiting for that. Whoop, that goes right there. And sometimes you wait and wait and wait and wait and finally have to fill in that spot with something that doesn't work out for you. And the idea of 1 number affecting 2, possibly 3 lines, I like that too. So this is a nice game. It's not, again, nothing grand here. It's a very simple little game. I think this is one that would go over well with just about any group, as long as they're not craving tactics, strategy, something bigger. This is something you pull out and do while you're waiting for your entree at a restaurant, you know, that sort of thing. Or you pull out with the family and you play with them. You can have everybody in there. The kids can play, the grandparents can play, everybody can play this together. And it's really any number of players you want it to be, including solitaire, and you just check your own high score. That's kind of blah, but you could do it. So, as far as this style of game goes, I do like this one. Now, there are other roll and write games that give you more choices than that, don't get me wrong. And I do think those are better. Games like Quinto, Quicks, games like that are better than this because you have more choices during your turn. But as far as games where you roll and then plug in a value, this is pretty good for that. Not exactly, you know, a glowing recommendation here, but hey, if you're looking for one of these kinds of games, this is something you could throw in your bag and take with you, and I think it would work out well. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.